Welcome to Plan Watch Walk and stage 3 of St Oswald's Way. We are currently at Craster, as we can just see behind, and we're going to be going down the coast today from Craster down to Warkworth, and looking forward to this one. This is a really nice stage of the walk, so stay with us. There should be some great scenes, some great walking, and hopefully a couple of adventures along the way. Enjoy! This stage of St Oswald's Way starts at Craster and we head south, passing Sugar Sands, Boomer, before reaching Allarmouth, and we continue south and pull inland slightly to complete this stage at Warkworth.
Well, hello everyone, joined by Martin Pameter, who was heavily involved in setting up St Oswald's Way. So Martin, can you tell us a little bit about St Oswald's Way and the setting up of it, please?
Well, St Oswald was one of the three main Northumbrian saints, and the idea of the walk was to link various places together that are associated with St Oswald. So it starts off at Lindisfarne, Holy Island of Lindisfarne, where Oswald helped Aidan to set up the first monastery on Holy Island. Then goes through Bamborough, which is where his royal palace was back in the Anglo-Saxon days, and then finishes at Heavenfield, which is where he fought a battle to reinforce his kingdom of Northumbria, and also he then went on to establish Christianity again in the Northumbria region. And so the route is about 96 miles in total, and it takes in a lot of the main features of Northumberland that people know about. So there's a lot of coast and castles which are really beautiful. Goes through forests and lots of countryside and along Hadrian's Wall at the end, and finishes at one of Northumbria's main historic sites as well.
Wow, that's brilliant, thank you for that. Is there any particular section that you prefer or stands out to you?
My favourite section is probably around Beautiful Bay, which is north of Bamborough. It was always one of my favourite sections even before this year, and the route of St Oswald's Way is changing this year because of the England Coast Path, and it's going to take even more of Beautiful Bay in, and it's the extension, it's now getting closer to the coast itself, and the views of Beautiful Bay are absolutely stunning, and there's so much history around there as well. It's a beautiful part of the county.
It certainly is, I'll agree with that one. Is there anything else you want to add just before we close off?
But the route's managed to a large extent by the St Oswald's Way management group, and we're running short of volunteers to either be on the group or to help us out with just looking after small sections of the route in terms of maintenance and reporting problems to the county council. So anybody that would like to work in a more administrative role, either be on the group or our group of advisors, or to work as a ranger, will be very, very welcome.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Well, many thanks for that, Martin. Do appreciate it.
That's okay. Well, thanks. I hope you enjoy your walk, David.
That's great. Thank you.
We leave the picturesque little bay, little harbour of Craster, and we walk up the road here, and we see ahead of us we've got Watson's and Sons traditional smoked fish, so that's the Craster kippers. So the walk starts and we head down the side of the Jolly Fisherman. Pull down the side of the pub, we can see Dunstanburgh Castle, which we ended up at the end of stage 2. I've got the harbour, got the signs just ahead of us here for the Northumberland Coast Path, and also signage we can just see on there for St Oswald's Way. So, great way to start. We head through the garden of the Jolly Fisherman. We're just pulling out of Craster, we can see ahead of us with Dunstanburgh Castle behind, and it's just ever so tranquil. The sea's beautifully flat, sun's trying to get out a wee bit. We'll see what happens during the day, and that's where we're heading. As we continue on south, we come to Colonist Point, which is the point at the end of here. You've got these rocks around here, which is a great haven for nesting seagulls predominantly. The bay here, you can just see coming into view, that's known as Swine Den. Anyway, we're going to continue on down, and we've got another bay coming up, and we've got a house just on the headland. I'll fill you in more about a little bit about the history of the house. But this is a great amount of history around here about smuggling, and we're eventually going to come to Boomer, and there's a great story around Boomer. Continuing south down the coast, we come across this property here, and as the estate agent would say, it's a house with a panoramic view. It certainly has, but it dates back to the to Earl Grey, who at the time owned Howick Hall, and he built this as a bathing house. Earl Grey is famous for Earl Grey tea. He developed Earl Grey tea specifically for the waters around these parts. Just as we pass the bathing house, come to this little bay in here, and it's called Rumbling Kern. And it's very interesting because it's where the names come from, because it comes from the noise it makes when the sea comes in. Anyway, we are continuing down the path. Got a nice sandy beach ahead of us, I think we can see that. So we're going to be heading down to the sandy beach, and we might do a little bit of beach walking, I think. We've just come down to, as it says here, Lowstead Links, designated an area of scientific interest. And ahead of us we've got the bridge which heads over the small estuary to Howick Burn. Just on the other side is Iron Scars. We just come over the bridge and we've got Iron Scars just behind us. As we pan round, we've got Sugar Sands, and just the next bay around is Howdymont Sands. The path itself continues around the top of the bay here, but I think we'll break it up a bit. I think we'll drop down onto the beach, have a little bit of a wander along the beach, and yeah, pick up some sands on the way. I think break it up a wee bit. We've just come off the two beaches we can see on our left here. On the right of the picture we've got Dunstanburgh Castle, which is a great view of the coast we just walked down. It's funny, I was talking to someone on the beach and they used the word "it's ever so tranquil." So we've got a couple of options here. So this is the main path, which is a walkway which is stoned, which will take us directly along to Boomer, which you can see centre of screen. I would heavily advise just to head around the point, and the views along here are just a lot nicer. As we head down the path, we start to come into Boomer. As we head through Boomer, we come up to the Fishing Boat Inn, and if time permits, great place for a stop. Boomer these days is a fishing village and tourist spot, and inland is the RAF base at Boomer. During the 18th and 19th century, Boomer was the centre of notorious smuggling trade, in particular gin, which much of this illicit activity being planned at the Fishing Boat Inn. One of the most notorious characters in this illicit trade was Will Farr, king of the Yetholm Gypsies, who lived in Kirk Yetholm, just over the Scottish border. So we're just coming along the cliff path. There's all these very small, very tranquil cottages. We've got the beach. But what a view they have. Heading out to the Farne Isles, what would you see ahead there? This is mid-June, and there's hardly anyone here. Well, this time we've decided not to go along the beach, but come inland a wee bit, and beware of flying golf balls. And welcome to Allenmouth Golf Club. So we will head through the gate and on towards the fairways. So we've just come around by the clubhouse of Allenmouth Golf Club, and the signage in this part of the path is very, very good. You can see them here, I'm not sure if you can make them out, but the one pointing right, and it's got the English coastal path, and this one pointing left here says we've got a mile to Allenmouth. And as I say, the path themselves, we've got another sign straight ahead of us here. It's very, very good. We just need to follow the coastal path currently and the signs for the Northumberland Coast path. And we're just through the trees there. We can see where we're heading to next. As we're getting closer to Allenmouth, we continue to see what was the defensive structure for the Second World War. Now pretty much ruined and all cordoned off because of health and safety and danger, I would imagine, but you're still seeing quite a lot of these structures as we continue down the coast. We just see through the gap there, that's the beach of Allenmouth, so we're heading on down there next. So ahead of us here we've got a flare point, a boom for fires of days gone by. To my knowledge, it's the only one on the coastal path and on this route. If anyone knows anything more about it, if you can put it into the description below, that would be great. As we come down off the path, we can just see below the lamppost, cars in the way now, the sign where we've come from. We've now got the path which is heading south, and this is taking us straight through the centre of Allenmouth, which is a beautiful little coastal village. As we continue down the high street, you can see there are plenty of places to eat, and if you fancy a drink, there's the church just on our left here. If you've got the time, it's really worth just spending a little bit of time here in Allenmouth. It's such a nice little place. Once we pull down the high street, we get to the end. We've got the beach heading down that way, and we want to follow the road around, which is heading us up the side of the River Allen. We can just see the side of these cars as a children's playground, and there's the estuary to the Allen, and the path itself, although I've been praising the signage, this one's a bit hidden, so just be a bit careful. Basically, footpath down there way, and we're heading off down Lover's Walk. So if you're here with a significant partner rather, this is the section for you. Well, we just come along on Lover's Walk, and on the opposite side of the road you can see the signage for English Coastal Path, Warkworth, 5 miles. Sliding across the road bridge, and we've got up to our right here, that's the River Allen. So we come across a number of these on our route. Say Allenmouth 3/4, we've got Warkworth top left 4 miles, and this is the National Cycle Network, and there's an inscription inside here, don't know if we can see it. It says Royal Bank of Scotland. This is one of 1,000 mile posts funded by the Royal Bank of Scotland and marks the creation of the National Cycleway. Due to the River Allen coming in, we need to take a slight detour coming inland a bit, and very kind, there's been a path made for us as well, which we can just see ahead. So this path's going to take us around the headland a wee bit, and then we will pick up with the coast once again. Hope you're enjoying it. The tranquility and the ease of this walk, it's just beautiful, magnificent. If you haven't done it, you need to give it a go. The beauty of pulling back in a little bit is you get a great view. This is Allenmouth ahead of us here, and we're going to be heading up just on the in the horizon, pretty much centre of picture. You've got the Coquet Island. We've just been following the path which you can just see ahead of us in the dunes, so we've been pulled back from the beach. You can, as ever, variations, you can mix it up. You can go down to the beach if you want and continue along. So we're continuing through the dunes. I think we've got a couple of miles to go, and then we're going to be at Warkworth. And we're currently just trekking through a caravan site, and here we have the beach. That goes right away along to Allenmouth, and I can see 4 people, and we are at the end of June. Amazing. We're building cars here. The beach continues, so our path, as I mentioned, is taking us through this small caravan site at this point, just following the track, the bridle track, and probably about 9.5 miles to go. Well, there's Burling Scars, just to give you an idea of the length of beaches in Northumberland. So there's 2 people there, and the beach goes right the way along to Sea Houses, and I can see 2, 3, 5, 7, about 9, maybe it's 10 people on this beach. Just amazing. As ever, the paths are pretty well marked. We've got Warkworth, 1.25 miles, and that's going to take us along the dunes with a magnificent backdrop to finish this off. Well, a quick update. We're sort of coming towards the end of stage 3, which has been most pleasant. I've got some mixed emotions. This is the 3rd stage coming down the coast, of which I just love the walking down the coast. It's just tremendous. If you're interested in more coastal walks, in the top right hand I will put a link in, and you can get the whole of the coastal path route through there. But I'm also excited because the next phase is taking us into the heart of Northumberland and eventually taking us across to Rothbury up onto the Simon sides. So there's lots to look forward to there. If you're enjoying what we're doing, why not subscribe if you haven't? Hit the bell, thumbs up, comments below, all massively appreciated, and there's still a little way to go yet, so enjoy what's left of this one. Well, we've got centre of the screen the signage for Warkworth, 3/4 mile. We have just come along the side of our second links golf course on the route, and we're leaving the coast behind us and we're heading inland and the last mile of the walk. So we just pulled back from the beach and you can see very much centre of the screen that is Warkworth Castle with the flag flying on top. Some of these signs are in the weirdest of places. Anyway, so we head over the bridge. We've got a really nice view heading up to Coquet. Well, Warkworth Bridge dates back to the 14th century. It's a fortified bridge over the River Coquet. So once we come through the gate to the fortified bridge, we need to head down the side of the Coquet. And we've got the sign for the coastal path just ahead of us. We're in Warkworth and I've just found this signage, which is quite nice. So, because it's a good idea, we've got St Oswald, so we started off Holy Island, we've come right the way down here. Next part, heading over to Rothbury, then down to Kirk Welpington, and then down to Havensfield, and potentially ended up in Wyle. We'll see how it goes. When you get to Warkworth, it's great to have a walk along the river, then to spend some time exploring Warkworth Castle, which dates back to the mid-12th century. Well, that sadly concludes stage 3 of the St Oswald's Way. I think tranquility has been the word for this walk. It's been just so enjoyable. That sadly is us leaving the coastline. We're going to be heading, the next stage is going to be heading across to Rothbury, and that's going to be stage 4. Love to see you on stage 4. And see what we've got to find heading across to Rothbury. I've been across that bit before and there's some really nice walking over there, so looking forward to that. Hope you've enjoyed this walk. For all the subscribers, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, why not subscribe? Thumbs up are good, comments below, fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, it's so much appreciated. And until stage 4 comes along, bye for now.